What up, YouTube? This is Gamma Effect coming at you with another video. I've got a very interesting topic today in my mind. Passport bros, take advice from experienced traveling men. Females are not your guide. What do I mean by that? Well, you'll hear a lot online, in person, mostly online these days, social media, YouTube, TikTok, about what men need to do and what they should do, and pretty much women telling men what to do. It's kind of silly, but it's kind of working. So it's actually not that silly. What they're doing is using their persuasive abilities to kind of get their way with men, and it's happening on all levels. In Western life, it's really aggressive and actually delusional and silly, but they're trying it. Men are doing a pretty good job more and more of filtering out the noise and ignoring it. I think 5 or 10 years ago it was working really well. Now, maybe 5 years ago, it was working really well, and so the simps were at full strength because they were just looking for approval from women and just getting taken advantage of. It was really, really sad. A lot of men are starting to um, kind of know their value and do better. Now, I mean, no shade in what I'm going to say because I'm talking to talking about a YouTube channel. I was scrolling past this morning, just scrolling through my timeline, and I came across a community page post, and it was by Babsi Rants, Babsirants, Babsi Rants. And no shade, they're a really nice couple. I'm not sure where he's from, but he's a Caucasian man. He's got gray hair. So, he's a middle-aged to older gentleman with a young Filipina, which is very common. Matter of fact, I recommend it. I've done it in the past, and I plan on doing it soon myself. I've been traveling a lot of years, and it's a good chemistry. It's a good relationship, right? But I think how it works is he is in the videos and he, gives content, but he probably has another job that he works. And I think she works on the YouTube channel a lot more because when you look at the posts, a lot of it is deep Filipino history, and also a lot of it is kind of a woman's perspective. She's giving advice to men, and it's from a female perspective, and that's actually pretty dangerous. Men need to really pay attention and probably aim at either experienced traveling men or other passport bros to get your information, experience, and advice. Because taking it from, a local woman, you're going to get their perspective, which, nothing wrong with that. But when they're telling you what to do, just understand they're not telling you what to do from your own perspective. They're coming at it from their angle, their persuasion, what they want. It's a common little back and forth when you run into what they want versus what you want, right? That's kind of the dance we're always playing, no matter if they're Western society or Asian traditional society. It's still that game going on. Everyone, like and subscribe to this video because you're definitely going to find some value. Click that notification bell. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Now, so I think we're all smart enough to know that we need to travel. We need to get out there and find traditional women. Boom. Okay, so we've got that part done. Now, you need to know what to expect when you get out there and you start dealing. A lot of these guys are going over there simping, and it's really going to change your environment. At the very end of the day, it's definitely the simp's fault for creating even a lot of Western culture's downfall. It's simps plus, the politics of it. It's not only the simps. But when you get to the Philippines, and when I'm starting to hear what I'm starting to hear, it's just the simps doing it. Because the local Filipino men ain't doing it, and the system's not set up that way. So when I say understand your value, You have to understand that the average salary in the Philippines is about $300 a month. And most of us men are coming over with multiple thousands, right? At least triple that, sometimes 10 times that. And that's like pretty normal for us. Now, there can be a value transfer if you listen to these local Filipino women who make you think you need to placate to them to actually be with them, right? They kind of set themselves above you as if you need to do something. And they kind of don't really talk about the fact that you're changing their life beyond measure just for being with them and being the good men that you are. And that is more than enough. But they're going to try and get more, of course. Now, let's look at the realistic scenario of what a Filipina is, where she's coming from for the most part. 80% are coming from this place that this Filipina is going to explain. Okay, here we go.
I am sure many of you guys think the first reason is to have financial security. While this is true, most Filipinas marry because of love and belongingness. And it's also true, life here in the Philippines is hard. Most people live in poverty. The poverty most Filipinos struggle with isn't a choice, it's simply a way of life, and for the majority, there's simply no way out of it. The hope of marrying a foreigner, someone with money from a first world country, preferably, is appealing to some Filipino women. Marrying for money is normal in some Asian countries, especially in the Philippines.
Marrying for money is normal in all cultures. I don't care where they're from. First world nation, it's female nature. That's not culture. That's definitely female nature. Now, nothing wrong with it. No shade to Filipinas, no shade to women. We all understand this. You need to benefit her, or else there's no point in her having an association with you. Okay, so you benefit her. However, you still hold the standard as to what that's going to be. Your presence alone going into the Philippines, the place that you choose to live, the lifestyle that you choose to have based on your normal standard is going to be an upgrade for her. She's going to have a lot less worries. And if you listen to this lady, she'll explain some of the hardships and why you will be very attractive. Now, when you go overboard and start simping or listening to them, gaslight you, now you're creating a big problem for yourself and all the other brothers that's coming over trying to live a good life with their Filipino.
The Philippines, once a third world country, is currently a developing country. However, the opportunity for a better life is still limited. The lack of access to health care and education intensifies the need to get out of poverty as fast as possible. But you know what? It's also interesting that no one is going to admit that they want to marry a foreign man just to escape poverty.
Okay. Listen and listen well. No one's going to talk about this. I rarely see this on the internet. I see tons of Filipina in their channels and they're saying, well, not all of them. Some are pretty traditional and just saying they want to support their man. Others are saying all this advice telling men what you need to do to be able to placate to a Filipina, how you can get her, what you need to do, how you need to impress her family, impress her father, all the different things that other foreigners have done. They even say the Filipina tradition dating foreigners. All that is gaslighting. What they're doing is giving you a complete different set of rules and expectations than a Filipino man would have if she's dating and marrying him. She's putting a whole different standard on you because she knows that you come with a lot more opportunity. So she just places a standard on you. That's nonsense. You set the standard. And the standard should be your normal lifestyle and how you're going to live, and you bring her into your frame. You bring her into your world. with that, her life is immediately improved. So you're standing on higher ground. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it's true. You're standing on higher ground. You're elevating her. Now, how does she equalize it? She equalizes it by being a super good woman to you, treating you very well, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the house, doing the things that make you feel good. And is she a slave? No. But you are providing her with a great deal of value. You're probably taking her to some restaurants that she wouldn't be able to go to. She doesn't have to wake up and worry about any of the different challenges that she had before. All she has to do is wake up and smile and go cook breakfast, make some coffee, and don't even have to worry about it. Like it's all there, right? So based upon that, once she treats you well, maybe has your children, takes care of your children, follows your lead, yeah, then it's equalizing. It's starting to equalize, and that's it. That's it. That's all you really need. Be yourself. Treat her well. She treats you very well. She has children for you and starts a family, and you're pretty much equal in that moment. Now, from what I'm hearing is there's a lot more that they are trying to tell you and expect for you to do. And, it extends to more family and, extended family, not just their parents, brothers and sisters, but aunts, uncles, everyone, right? And they're trying to convince you of that. I wish it would. I wish a Filipino would threaten to leave me because I'm not willing to pay for her uncle, or I'm not willing to pay for her uncle's sister or her uncle's children or something like that. I wish you would threaten to leave me. Because at the end of the day, the lifestyle that you're providing, another Filipino will be happy to take her place. So you have the leverage. That's the bottom line. You have the leverage. They want you to love them and fall for them and get all whooped on, get henpecked and this and that. But when you can replace them, it is what it is, and that's the bottom line of it. And a lot of brothers, a lot of passport bros need to like realize this. Now, that's only if she gets contentious. That's only if she gets demanding. That's only if she really threatens to break up with you or something like that. Because, once she gets to that point, she's challenging you in a way that isn't fair and she's ignoring your value. Now, when you talk about value, it's not like you didn't work to get this done. You built yourself up. You dodged all the bullets of Western society that this Filipino will never know about. You changed your life and you went and moved to a foreign country and set yourself up to have whatever income you have, whatever way that you're getting it, whether it be online, whether you saved it, whether you got a pension, whatever have you, all the hard working days that you put together, that gives you the right to set the terms. Now, she can take it or leave it. She doesn't have to be with you. But if she does decide to be, these are the terms. Sometimes I see Filipinas talking in a way that I don't understand, and that's what happened today. When I see Babsi Rants, she's got a foreign man and she's giving advice. It's the woman. I know it's not him giving this advice. This is not him writing. And I responded to it, and we had a small conversation, and I kind of let her know my opinion on it. But this is what she wrote. Okay, this is recent, only 5 hours ago. Okay, so it says, oh, let's look at the manner in which it's written. It's in all caps, which means it's fiction, because it's like represent like a corporation, fictitious writing, or that's an illegal term. But in like a cultural term, it's being aggressive, um, uh, domineering, authoritative, even yelling, right? She does that on purpose because you look at the other paragraphs and they're in normal language, right? And then she even puts the name Babsi Rants in normal language. So here we go. Let's look. Once you're married, there's no longer, in quotation marks, your money. It's already, out, quotation marks, our money. And she's telling you, she's not suggesting, she's advising, she's letting you know. She's not politely giving you some information or something like that. She's not kind of, bringing up a point. She's telling you, once you're married, there's no longer your money. It's already our money. That's pretty domineering, and that's pretty, she doesn't have this position to really talk like this, but she thinks she does. That's why you choose a partner with the same values, principles, and outlook as yours. That's why you choose a partner with the same values, principles, and outlook as yours. She's telling you what to do. Beauty will become irrelevant real fast. Once there's no food on the table, countless pages of debts. So your lady's beautiful, but it won't matter once you don't have any food and you got countless pages of debts. Now, she's talking to foreign men. Don't get this twisted. This is and she's advising you, telling you in a domineering tone. Now, why? Why is she doing this? Because does it make sense? Are foreign men going to the Philippines, marrying Filipinas, and creating hardships because of lack of money? I do not think so. I don't think so. I don't think if that was the case, the Philippines would be so open to foreign men. I don't think passport bros are going there and really, not having any sort of resources and having tons of debts. Now, if you do, it's because you did something stupid like sent, right? And that's why she's pointing that out, but she's operating from a scarcity mindset, which could be because of, in the Philippines, there's a lot of scarcity. So she could be putting her life experience and her views on us, right? Which, that's what I'm saying. Females are not your guide. You can't listen to them. Like where they're coming from is from their point of view. They should talk to other women, maybe, I don't know, or talk to children. But men, we come from reality where we provide and protect, and we have to. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. We don't need advice from a 20-something-year-old Filipina who thinks that we don't understand financial principles. If you move to the Philippines and you set up a life, you've done pretty well for yourself. I guarantee that. Like, I don't think guys, for the most part, 95% of men are not going over there broke and struggling and begging Filipino or Filipinas, to survive. I think they all have got a pretty stable financial background. Finances are the number one leading cause of conflict and domestic problems in a marriage relationship. We see time and time again the horrible consequences of couples misusing and mismanaging joint finances for their own personal gain. Secrecy and theft is rampant in these situations, like they aren't married to begin with. Lack of discipline on both parties and feeding on vices affects the entire home, not just couples. I do not think this is foreign men that she's talking about. I think she's talking about local couples, to be honest with you. Foreign men, you do not have a lack of discipline if you go over there and you set your life up after working and building up your assets. Secrecy and theft, mismanaging joint finances for their own personal gain. That's not both people, right? That's not both people. She said we see time and time again the consequences of couples misusing and mismanaging. She's equalizing it to both parties, but depending on who you talk to, it's pretty one-sided. If you go, you can't be a victim of getting taken advantage of. But I really don't see men going to the Philippines and taking advantage of Filipino women, Filipinas, and taking all their money and mismanage it. Maybe local men do. I don't know. No shade on local men. But I don't think she's talking about us, but she's talking to us. So no matter how uncomfortable it is to discuss with your partner, be transparent and honest about finances, debts, and expectations. This should be your non-negotiable, gentle reminder. It's not gentle. She's talking harsh, but she's talking to the wrong party. She's equalizing it. She probably should be warning men to discuss these things with your partner and find out her financial inequities, right? It's not equalized. It's usually one party is strong, and that party is usually going to be the foreign man going to the Philippines. No doubt about it. No shade. It's not anything personal, but that's the dynamic. That's the truth of the matter. I got brother Cal from Sunshine Shoulders. He's got some information on it. He's got some experiences, and he talks plainly about it. So, like I said, brothers, listen to traveling men. Females are going to give you their point of view, their perspective, but, they should be talking to other women and children. They shouldn't be advising men. Or maybe her own men, but men who travel, you don't travel if you are struggling with debts, struggling with finances. It just doesn't, those two don't go together. So it's safe to say men that travel are pretty well off financially. They've done a good job managing. Now, if they allow themselves to be mismanaged, because once you're married, there's no longer your money, it's our money. That's what's going to open you up to mismanagement of funds. If you take yourself over there and you built yourself up and you got all these assets that you took care of, and now you're able to live the life that you want to live, that's yours. And she's coming into your life and you're elevating her life. Now, do you share with her? Yes, you provide and protect for her. Is it her money? No, it's not. Now, you can give her maybe an amount of money per month so she can have her money. But if you earned it, if you built it up, her marrying you doesn't just automatically transfer that over to her. That would be that's a sweet shortcut. You're 40-something, 50-something, 60-something, and you built up yourself over all these decades. As long as she's been alive, you've been working on it. Through trial and error, wins and losses, you've failed, you've succeeded, and all of a sudden she marries you, and then she gets access to all of what you've built up. And it's yours, or it's both of you together. It's ours. That is nonsense. That is nonsense. I don't even think the man in her YouTube video operates that way. I really don't. He probably will never admit it to her. She'll probably ask him 1,000 times. But I don't even think he operates that way. No man should. No man should. When you go overseas and you get with these women, you are to provide and protect that woman. You are not to give her everything that you have. Those are two different things.
See, here's the thing, guys. If you don't hear nothing else today, hear this. We can come over here and live our dreams, okay? Take care of the woman, give her a life she never even, the best she's ever known, without losing our minds, without giving her everything in the kitchen sink. We're going crazy. We're going above and beyond what we have to do. We're buying $100 cup of coffee, man. Is what we're doing. We're paying $100 for the cup of coffee that only costs $1. Rawhide says, so is it okay or not? No, it's become okay. Because when I tell stories like this, it's like it goes through your one ear and goes out the other. Let me read another comment. And I'm going to tell you why he says is it okay or not. The Gamma Effect, this is his name. He says, finally, it has been said. All I see from Filipino YouTube channels is how to simp and placate to these Filipinas as if they have all the value and Western men are the lucky ones for being with them. When it's the man who changes her life, not the other way around. Simps run.
Yes, the Gamma Effect, that's me. Letting Sunshine Shoulders know I agree with them fully. You don't have to lose your mind and give everything that you've worked for your whole entire life. It's just not necessary. You probably make 10 times the average salary. Doctors over there make 50 to 75,000 pesos. This is an MD doctor who's put in an awful lot of work and it's well respected. But you come over there and you you make 200,000 pesos a month. There's no reason to transfer that to a Filipina who probably couldn't pay 10,000 pesos a month for her rent. Some can, but most of them can't. 80% of them can't. And that's the bottom line. But you're supposed to all of a sudden elevate her to your 200,000 pesos, a month. And she says it's ours, so she's entitled to half of that. So now she's 100,000. She makes more than a doctor because of her association with you. That makes no sense. No sense. Now, like I said, provide and protect. Make sure she's good. Make sure she's got everything she needs. She can go shopping a little bit. She can go grocery shopping and get the stuff y'all need. Kids are put in good schools. Transportation is taken care of. Security is taken care of. Make sure she's good. But that does not mean you go and give her more than a doctor would make just because she knows you. That's the fine line. It's just getting out of pocket. Let's see one more clip from Calvin.
Here's something else we do. Is this guy thinking clearly? He put his life savings into the hands of a woman who doesn't even have a high school diploma. And then he got mad when she mismanaged it. His whole life savings that he gave this woman. While he's over in America, he's sending the money over here to her. Then when he gets here, it's all gone. It's all gone. See, but it's okay because he's gonna come back to me like, well, it's my money. That's what.
You see how ridiculous this is? You see how ridiculous that is? And then he gets upset with the Filipina. But if you listen to this, maybe he's married to that woman. Maybe he's in a committed relationship. Once you're married, there's no longer your money. It's already our money. No, it's not. No, it's not. Listening to these women will always put you in a piss poor position only because you listen to them. Don't give away your power. This is silly. Don't give away your value just because of some concept of, oh, we're married now. Nah, man. Your obligation is to take care of that woman. You marry her and you take care of her. But that does not give her control over nothing. Marriage don't give her control. It don't give her power. All it does is give you an obligation to take care of her, which we will do because we're good, upstanding noblemen. We're positive individuals. We're great men. We do positive things for Asian and traditional South American, African cultures. We do positive things because we're amazing. And that's all we have to do. We bring her into our life. We bring her into our fold. We bring her into our protection, our umbrella. And from that standpoint, you take care of that woman and she takes care of you from a domestic standpoint. And it's a beautiful thing. Babsi Rants doesn't mean harm, but like I said, I know this is a woman who wrote this. This is not the man. And I'm even sure that he's real pilled enough or understanding enough of woman nature to keep himself and to keep her happy, but to keep himself being the man that he is, not giving up all his power to her. I know that's the case. And everything she's speaking about here, I'm not saying it's not valid, but I'm saying it doesn't apply to passport bros. It doesn't apply to foreign men who travel to her country. So listen to well-traveled brothers. Listen to well-traveled, experienced men if you're unsure about how that's going to go. Because local people will gaslight you in any country. They'll tell you, this is our culture. You need to do this, 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 and this. And they will have a completely different standard because they'll be talking to you as a foreigner. They won't be talking to you as a man. And this is your job to always demand the respect of a man. Plain and simple. And she follows your lead. You don't follow hers. So these all caps letters that she's writing, that's nonsense. Ignore it. Whenever women assert themselves in a dominant tone, that's your key to ignore them. Adam and Eve. Adam was the leader. Eve was not leading. And that's why everything went awry, because she persuaded him to eat from the tree of wisdom, the tree of life, tree of knowledge. They weren't supposed to do that. He should have known it. He should have took that fruit from her and put her on timeout, gave her a little punishment so she knew. But he listened to her, and that was his downfall of man. That's been a downfall of man. And that's exactly what it is. This is a woman writing in all caps telling you from a dominant standpoint what you need to do and how your money's not yours. You should put her in timeout and not listen to her. But I'll still take a Filipina. I'll still take an Asian traditional woman, South American traditional woman, any traditional woman, African, any traditional woman over what we got to deal with in the West, because they are capped and they are lying and they are aggressive, even more aggressive than this Filipina. You don't believe me? Take a look.
And this is one of the biggest parts of the problem. I hate how black men have weaponized their mediocrity. Like in 2023, where you need to make damn near 100K to have.
Okay, 2023, we need to make 100K. That's 8,000 a month. That's like 400,000 pesos a month, 500,000 pesos a month. She's saying that's what we need to make. And if we don't, we're average. We're weaponizing our mediocrity. We're mediocre. And it's not good enough for her, apparently. Let's listen to more.
Have a suitable standard of living. You think black women who have been working hard, probably educated, making a life for herself when she met you, you think she should marry to financial instability for what? Like, what's the actual reasoning for that? Every other culture and ethnicity of women are normalized and brought up to pick men based on how they can provide and take care of them and be equally yoked. When it comes to
okay, so every culture and ethnicity, they are doing really well, and their men are providing and doing a great job by them. But, you know, the brothers in America aren't. They're getting the short end of the stick, and all the other women on earth are thriving with their men who provide for them. Okay, got it.
black women, we are the only ones who are constantly being told to accept less. And you guys aren't being told to do more. So now when black women are saying, oh my gosh, there's nothing to choose from, there are no eligible men ready to get married, ready to have families, ready to be able to provide and help take care of a family, y'all respond with, oh, well, there are a lot of men who are making under 50K. And then when black women marry these men who make under 50K.
Okay, so brothers, take your 50K and go to Thailand. Take your 50K and go to Brazil. Take your 50K and go to Colombia. 50K and go to the Philippines. Let's see what 50K does. That's 4,000 a month. In peso language, that's about 200,000 a month. Yeah, take it and go there, because it ain't enough for this type of woman, right? And she's complaining on the internet like I've seen a million times. Let's just finish it up.
And these men end up being terrible fathers, terrible husbands, abusive, insecure because they make more than half less of their wife. Y'all get on podcast.
Terrible fathers, terrible husbands. It's funny because the CDC, if there are any foreigners looking at this, maybe Babsi, if you're checking out, just to let you know, the CDC is the Center for Disease Control, and they do national statistics, and they found that brothers were actually the most involved fathers. They're the best fathers out of all men in America, and that's interesting. But she says terrible fathers, terrible husbands, and they're insecure because they make less than half of their wife. What she's talking about, sisters, you know, the melanated woman in America, ABW. Now, it's funny how statistics work, because we know that only 6 to 8% of sisters, melanated women in America, make over $75,000 a year. 6%. So 95%, 94% of women do not fall in that category. But that's the example that she uses. You see the gaslighting? You see the dishonesty, the deceit? You see how they big themselves up? And I see if it was like close to true, but it's not even close to true. She's lying. And she's saying, oh, they're insecure because they're making half of what their wife does. So they make less than $50,000 and their wife makes more than $100,000. That is false. It's just a lie. It's just a lie. So you can deal with that, or you can deal with a Filipino who's out of pocket trying to tell you what to do But all you got to do is just be a man and do what you're supposed to do as a man, which is lead and provide for her, and ignore her when you need to because she's out of pocket, like she is in that paragraph. In this paragraph, the very first paragraph, she's absolutely out of pocket. Absolutely. She should be ignored in this moment and keep on doing what you're doing and do what you do with your assets, with your money. And as long as she has a good life and she's catering to you and taking care of your kids and taking care of home life, then you should be good. If she presses it and comes at you and threatens you to leave, well, then you got a problem. You might have to show her that you can replace her, and no harm, no foul. And, you're going to do what you're going to do as a man. But if she backs off of that and this just turns out to be a post and, not that big of a deal, and she goes back into her place and be a nice, good wifey, then no problem. No problem. You keep it moving. Sometimes women get out of pocket and they talk mess, but all they do is talk. Actions is what power is really about. Actions is what it comes down to at the very end of the day. And as long as she's doing good actions, she can say whatever she wants, as long as you're not buying into it and being persuaded. Bottom line, be a man. Password Bros takes advice from experienced traveling men, not females. They're not your guide. Like and subscribe if you found value with this video, which I know you found value. Holler at me. I'll see you guys on the next time. Peace.